In the 18th century, revolutionary inventions arrived, bringing wealth and prosperity to Great Britain. New inventions, such as the spinning jenny, increased productivity of different products like clothes. People would move from the countryside to the city. The increase in the amount of people working in the city also made the economy grow with trade. Since there were steam trains and steamboats, trade was easier and the import of goods too.
The streets were unpaved, had many holes, and had clothing drying in them. Because of the lack of drains, many different things would accumulate in stinking puddles. Most of the obstructed water drains and bad ventilation were the cause of many deaths. Also, the poor living conditions people live in would cause more death and wounds than wars.
People from the high class would try to live as far away from the impoverished areas. They had huge, elegant houses and would have many servants working for them. They would use carriages to move, while people had to move on horse or walk. Also, they had a higher mortality rate, since their health and diet was way better than the average people and were able to afford luxurious goods. Women kept obedient to men in public affairs, were expected to be well educated in the arts and music and adept at managing a household. Men would own businesses and become even richer, allowing them to have huge mansions and a fine art collection.
Owners of factories looked for people living in the countryside to work in their factories. They offered the people in the countryside a place to live in the city and a wage. During this time, women gained more rights, and between those the right to work. Children also work. However, with time, the negative effects of working in factories started to appear. The wages were low or inexistent in the case of children, and overwork was killing the working class and affecting thousands of children who needed to enter coal mines because they were small. Women receive a lower wage than men, and they work in wool factories with the spinning jenny and other machinery to increase the production of textiles, but the dust released in the factories affected their lungs. On the other hand, safety equipment wasn't given, and in some cases, workers lost an extremity. The high class only looked to enrich themselves. Meanwhile, the working class suffered from poor working and living conditions. They had to struggle with food, family, and diseases that were affecting the working class since they didn't have any clean areas and the money to go to hospitals or buy medicine. Also, workers were mistreated by the owners of factories if they didn't do their work perfectly and were on time to work. Besides, the owners of factories didn't give a meal to the workers, so workers needed to either work more to earn some more money or not to eat.
Children worked in factories without any safety condition, which often caused them to lose a part of their body due to the dangerous machines. Also, children were punished for arriving late to work and they did not have wages. Children's education was affected since they had to work and have the luck to at least be paid some cents. In addition, children and most of the workers were exposed to the polluted and filthy factories, which at the same time, woolen factories' dust was released. The poor hygiene brought lethal diseases such as bone deformity, respiratory problems, and rickets.